everyone, it's Tox from critshappen.com. Thanks for watching and welcome back. Well, I am excited today because not only are we going to do a short review on Doomtown Reloaded, but we're bringing back an old series that was one of my favorites. This is Critical Strikes, and in Critical Strikes we used to take 3 games, put them through a micro review, and let you know our opinions on them. Now we're going to do them with 1 game, so they're going to be shorter videos, easier for you guys to consume and watch, easier for you to find online as well, and hopefully fun and enjoyable. Today we're looking at Doomtown Reloaded from Alderac Entertainment Group. This is a living card game that is a reboot of, pardon that pun, a reboot of an older game called Doomtown. Now this is a living card game, so if you buy this box and I buy this box, we get the exact same things, which is really cool. It's also set in an alternate Western universe. It's in a town called Gomorrah, where you're going to use ghost rock instead of money to recruit people into your posse. You're then going to move them into town in different deeds or different locations with the whole goal of having more control than any other player's highest influence. It's a very interesting game, and quite honestly, this is probably going to be one of the weirdest and more different Doomtown Reloaded reviews that you've seen online than anybody else because of the way I'm going to talk about the game. I'm also really looking forward to the discussion that this video is going to spawn because I'm probably going to spark a few fires, so we'll see how it goes. But the idea inside of Gomorrah, or inside of Doomtown, in this box you're going to get 4 different gangs. The gangs are going to be the Law Dogs, the Fourth Ring, who are probably my favorite, Morgan Cattle Company, and the Sloan Gang. And these are all going to be, well, let me back up. You're actually going to get pre-constructed decks in this box, and then additional cards to make decks for each of these 4 gangs, or each of these 4 groups. The rule book is going to give you some suggestions as to how you can put those together, but like any other style card game, you're going to be able to customize it and tweak it as you see fit. Now, I need to tell you guys, this is not a jump in and get going game. This is a deep game. In fact, I will go as far as to say that the rule book for this game, the verbiage used in it makes Netrunner look like a Dr. Seuss book. There are so many unique terms and terminology for all the actions that go on inside of Doomtown that it can really make your head spin. However, it is a game that if you put a lot of effort into it to learn it and understand it, at the end of the day, it's really not that complicated, and it provides one hell of an experience for you and the other players. It is, at its core, a great game. Now, I'm going to caveat with this. I don't like it, and that's going to sound really weird because I love steampunk, and this is a little bit of steampunk splashed into the Old West. There's flamethrowers, there's like auto cattle feeders, there's like all these like crazy things going on in the world of Gomorrah that should make me love it. And I do love the gameplay. I think the design of the game is really good. The concept is that there's different places that you're going to be putting out in town, different deeds. So you'll have things like a saloon or a general store or a casino, and they're all going to have a control value. You are going to try and have more control than influence that another player has. If you ever end up in a position where somebody has more influence than you have control, then they're going to win the game. So there's a lot of ebb and flow going on because you're going to be bringing out guys with high influence, sending them off to those deeds, and you're going to be able to acquire and take ownership of those deeds. And if at the end of your turn you've done enough of that, you're going to win. However, as you can imagine, this is an Old West game, so it's not that simple because you're going to have shootouts. Now, the other thing that you may have noticed is that these cards all have poker hands up in the upper right. So you're going to see that there are different poker suits and different poker hands that you can get. One of the more interesting things about the game is that aside from designing a deck of cards that is going to have to be effective in terms of how you use them, you're also going to have to design a deck of cards that could get you poker hands. There's different rankings and different times in the game that you're going to put your regular hand aside, draw cards from the top of your deck, and look at what do I have poker hand wise and rank them from highest to lowest. Sometimes you want highest, sometimes you want lowest. It's going to be a really interesting design to put those decks together. And that goes back to my whole point that this is not just as simple as, ooh, these 2 cards go together, therefore I should put them in my deck. You have to start to think, well, wait a minute, if I have 9 Jack of Spades in my deck, they may all be great, but that means my hands that I draw when I'm looking for poker hands could technically be cheating hands. So you'll look here, like for example, I have a pair of fours, but they are two four of spades. Well, in a normal poker deck, there's not two four of spades, so that's cheating. And there's going to be things that happen inside the game that affect you usually pretty negatively when cheating. There are some things that you can take advantage of if you don't get caught while cheating. So there's some pretty interesting dynamics there that takes a game that most of us are very familiar with and puts it into this living card game setting. Mechanically, this game is great, because you're going to start out with a posse. So, for example, with one of the Law Dogs, you may start out with 4 guys here, like Philip Swinford, Tommy Harden, Prescott Utter, and Travis Moore. And these guys all start in your main location. And as I showed you before, there's these cards that represent your main location. So they're going to start in that location, and they're going to move out to different deeds in the city. And then you're going to have shootouts. And the shootouts are going to be determined by cards you draw and by the type of person they are, if they're a stud or if they're an average shooter, or what kind of abilities they have. There's going to be a lot of interaction. But at the end of the day, this game is very simplified. Even though it's very complex, it's about bringing guys out, moving them to locations, having shootouts, and making sure that you can gain control of those deeds and make sure that you have more influence than anyone else has control. Like I said, there is a lot to Doomtown Reloaded. It is a great designed game. I actually think that Mark and David have done a phenomenal job putting together all of these things that make each 4 of these starting gangs very, very different and very unique. And the gameplay, once you understand it, moves extremely well. If you're a fan of the original game, you will go nuts for Doomtown Reloaded. If you are a new fan, it may be a little bit of a harder sell. You're going to have a very deep rulebook. The rulebook is very, very thick. There are some really good examples in here, and it's done pretty well. However, quite honestly, the verbiage makes it very, very hard to get through. There are a lot of different unique terms for the different things you do. For example, we all know that Wizards of the Coast has trademark tap. So you're not allowed to say, doing this taps a card. In Doomtown, this is booting, and this is unbooting. So there's a lot of new terms you have to get used to, but once you understand them and you familiarize yourself and relate them to other types of game terms you know, they become a little more easy. The one thing that I had a big challenge with was this book, Getting to Know Gamora. This is a giant 16-page book that tells you right on the front, learn how to play in one dang turn. Well, when one dang turn is 16 pages, that's quite a bit. So that was a little bit of a lot to chew off at first. However, again, once you get through it, you're going to understand it very, very well. I think this was a pretty good idea, although personally, because of what I do with my trade, I would have preferred to have maybe seen a video online to walk us through one turn instead of a 16-page booklet. But this is definitely a game that if you invest, you will reap rewards. However, it's going to take a good amount of investment. The artwork is absolutely gorgeous. I think they nailed it. I mean, you feel like you're in this different, unique, lively world of Gamora. The Fourth Ring, which is my favorite, has some really great characters, really lively, dark circus type things going on, and it really does a good job of immersing you inside of it. So at the end of the day, I would definitely highly recommend Doomtown Reloaded. However, go into it understanding it's not going to be something that you rip open and sit down and immediately start playing. Let us know what you think. I'm really interested to hear what you think. Am I crazy for thinking this is not my type of game, but thinking many of you would really like it? Let us know and leave comments below in the YouTube channel. Of course, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter by searching Google+, or at our homepage at critshappen.com. But until we see you next time, we hope you enjoy all your Ghost Rock collecting shootout flying times inside of Doomtown Reloaded. Thanks so much for watching, keep rolling those dice, and we hope they're all crits.